All right, well, let's get into the dailies we have. And let me start with the daily graphic. All right, so there's a lot of stories from Kumawu this morning. Of course, after the by-election yesterday, is to be expected. We have by-election MPPs in Nim wins Kumawu. GJA wins bid to host third African Media Convention. We also have criminals take over Pantang Hospital. And in Damongo, NEDCO restores power to St. Anne's Hospital. Right.
All right, so on the Ghanaian Times, we have payment of surface rentals. 10 IOCs owe Ghana $2.77 million. GRA chases them to retrieve arrears. And we have here, government committed to Abidjan-Lagos Corridor Highway project implementation, and that's by the Vice President. New Durban collapsed building. 5-year-old crushed to death. One on admission. Trial of 3 accomplices of Galamsey Queen begin on June 6th.
Yeah, the bit about the highway.
Yeah.
It's what? It's a Lagos,
Abidjan-Lagos corridor. So
Okay.
yeah, so it will be
So it's Abidjan to Lagos.
Yeah.
Through Accra.
through Accra.
Through Accra, Lome, and
Benin and all that.
yes. Okay. Well, we have to do our part, because people are building their own. If you go and see what the Ivorians have built, you wonder what we are also doing with our own. Anyway, the Chronicle has these headlines here. It says, stop GMPC and Petro SA deal. Minority charges NAPO. We have police detain a woman, 77, over sins of adult son. Oi, what story is this one? MPA boss wins 2022 Outstanding Public Sector Leader Award. We have MPP wins Kumawu seat in violence-free by-election. The violence has become so commonplace that now when there's no violence, it's like it's headlines.
Yeah, we have to talk about it.
But we thank God.
Like, well done.
But we thank God.
Like, we've done well.
The scripture for today on the front page of the Chronicle is Proverbs 6 verse 20. It says, my son, keep your father's command and do not forsake your mother's teaching.
Okay. There. And on the Finder, we have GIJ lecturer appeals for help to raise 700,000 Ghana cedis for kidney transplant. IMO bus tax transport minister to spearhead green shipping. Newmont pays over 843 million Ghana cedis to government for first quarter. GBC workers threaten strike over removal of allowances. And the big one here is Enim NPP secures 70.9% landslide victory. It was largely peaceful despite pockets of disagreement.
All right. The Informer has some interesting headlines. It says here, Chief eulogizes IGP. Pesa White calls Supreme Court, in quotes, stupid. Says justices lack common sense, again, in quotes. Legal identities for businesses soon, Baumia discloses. Kufo man dumps Allen. And Dangote arrests chronic fuel shortages, builds world's largest single train refinery. And Samuel Oku tops all. Those are the headlines on the front page of the Informer.
And here on the Republic Press, we have Kumawu falls for NPP as independent fails to fly. Freddie Blay hot over Petro SA deal. Mahama fights for collapsed banks. Christian Adiabo, nurses' attitude towards patients. 2023 Ghana Manufacturing Award. Entrance Pharmaceutical sweeps 4 awards. And poor infrastructure reduces enrollment in Jindabwo Basic School.
All right, I have the Ghanaian Publisher. It says here, MPP retains Kumawu's seat. 29 CSOs want Blaise sacked as GMPC chairman. Entrance Pharmaceuticals grabs 4 awards. Richard Anane shoots down a Drumiso. Galamsey, how long should we keep singing this song? IMO begs Isiama to lead Africa green shipping. Those are the headlines on the front page of the Ghanaian Publisher.
And the headlines on the Herald: Freddie Blake calls CSO's bluff, says he won't resign over Petro-SA deal. Energy Minister knocks down Akufo-Addo family and Blay at GNPC. Saves Ghana 164.8 million US dollars oil asset for clandestine sale to South Africans. Any others provide 900 people with business skills. And NPP retains Kumewu seat with landslide amid vote buying.
All right, the custodian. It says NPP wins Kumewu seat with over 70%. IMO tasks Transport Minister to promote green shipping. MPA boss is outstanding public sector leader. It's Baumia's turn to Richard Anane jabs Allen. And those are the headlines on the front page of the custodian.
The New Publisher. We have Ghana's Yoko boss, now vice chairperson of anti-corruption institutes in Africa. The big one here: I lied against Afenyo marking. A Futu NDC candidate begs. Ewuku wins overall best public sector CEO of the year. Ursula leads advocacy for women in Africa, and that's what we have here for the New Publisher.
All right, my final paper is the BNFT, and it says here, current global crisis derailing UN SDG to end poverty by 2030. And there's a feature here: leadership made in Africa, he who pays the piper calls the tune. Positive signs for gross reserves, analysts are saying, but Citi is not out of trouble. FBN Bank CEO receives top prize at the Ghana West Africa Business Excellence Awards. IMF deal, government to restructure internal audit to check spending. We also have CSOs kick against the attempt to sell 50% interest of JOHL, demand removal of GNPC boss and board chair. GNPC CEO and board chair. So those are the headlines on the front page of the BNFT.
All right, so we will take some from citinewsroom.com. And we have here: I didn't believe I could defeat Mahama in NDC primaries, says Kojo Bonsu. NPP MPs intensify calls for Oforiatta's exit after IMF deal and Petro-SA deal. I have done nothing wrong to resign, and that's by Freddie Blay. MPP's Ernest Yao Enim secures landslide victory in Kumewu by-election. And if you want to read more, just go to citinewsroom.com for more of the news.
All right, and it's time for sports. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome. And today on Sports Review, we have some football news within the Ghana space. And then, of course, we'll do some other Bet Power Premier League's sports and some Premier League on Citi sports as well. Now, the 2023 edition of the Baby Jet Under-16 African Football Tournament was launched in Accra on Tuesday. Now, the tournament will see an expanded field of 32 teams from Togo, Nigeria, Benin, Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, and Ghana battling to win the ultimate prize. Now, the tournament is being organized by the Asamoah Foundation, and the former Black Star striker will offer guidance and mentoring to some of the best players who will emerge from the competition. And so kudos to them. We're looking for new talent. I think it's a great initiative by Asamoah and his team, and kudos to all of them, and they have a successful tournament. We'll go to the Ghana Bet Power Ghana Premier League. Former Germany captain Lothar Matthäus has acquired a stake in Accra Lions FC. All right, and those of you who are as old as I am, you remember Lothar Matthäus, star player. The news was made public by the club on Tuesday at a press conference, and Matthäus will own the club together with German football agent Oliver Koenig and the Ghanaian footballer Frankie Champon. Now, Matthäus told German football newspaper Bild that Ghana had good football agents and he felt he needed to invest in such a market. All right, so welcome on board. Premier League on City, Bukayo Saka has signed a new deal to stay at Arsenal until 2027, saying the club is the right place to make the next step. Now, England forward has scored 14 goals for the Gunners this season, contributing 11 assists. Now, just 21 years old, he's already made 178 appearances for the club and has featured in all Arsenal's Premier League games over the past 2 campaigns. Now, Saka's previous deal was due to expire at the end of 2023-2024 season. The second place Arsenal host Wolves in their final game of the season on Sunday, having missed out on the Premier League title to Manchester City. And that's where we draw the curtains on the sports review this morning.